against our standards, and I thought we played. I thought we played with some pretty high standards today, you know. And again, saying that it doesn't guarantee a victory. It doesn't mean it's perfect, but I felt our intentions were there. We were organized in our 5-on-5 play, and you know, it was a good game. You know, I thought we stayed patient. It's unfortunate we don't get the 2 point, but a lot of positive.
Martin St. Louis made a shocking announcement to the Montreal Canadiens on November 8, 2025. The goaltending controversy exploded 24 hours earlier when Jakub Dobes cried after losing. His veteran Samuel Montembeault ranked second worst in the NHL statistically. St. Louis canceled practice immediately. He called Dobes into his office. The decision he revealed would alter everything. Dobes stopped 24 of 28 shots in the 4-3 overtime defeat. His record dropped to 6-0-1. The loss came when Jesper Bratt scored 93 seconds into overtime with a backhand shot through the 5-hole. Dobes took full responsibility for the team's first overtime loss of the season. "We played good enough to win, just not good enough from my side," Dobes told reporters after the game. "I don't know, just really hard. This is a tough one. Just sucks. It happened last year. It happened this year. Lose to those guys in OT. So just disappointed in myself. That's pretty much it." The emotional display shocked media members present. NHL.com reporter Mike Montreal witnessed the scene firsthand. "Don't know if I've ever seen this before, but MTL rookie goalie Jakub Dobes, who entered this game 6-0-0, was literally in tears, blaming himself for the Canadiens' loss." Montreal posted on social media, "We, the media, tried to console him, telling him to keep his head up. Kid is putting so much pressure on himself." Martin St. Louis addressed the situation during his press conference. "Everybody handles situations differently, and he took it hard," St. Louis said. "It's probably a big reason why he's at this level. He's probably demanding of himself. We'll talk to Dobes. He's played really well for us." Teammates rushed to defend their goaltender. Defenseman Noah Dobson spoke with reporters after the game. Dobson said, "But it just shows the character and passion in this room. Everyone holds themselves to a high standard and wants to do what they can to help the team win. But we know in the room he's been a backbone for us this year, so there's no need for him to do that and put it on himself." This situation placed St. Louis in a difficult position regarding his goaltending rotation. Samuel Montembeault, the presumed starting goaltender, has struggled severely this season. The 28-year-old carries a 2-3 record with a 3.82 goals against average and .842 save percentage through 5 games. St. Louis maintained confidence in his struggling veteran. "If you ask me if I'm worried, no, I'm not worried," St. Louis said. The coach continued defending Montembeault's ability. "I didn't have a single idea in mind. We have 2 good goaltenders," St. Louis added. "Dobes is definitely having a good streak, but Monty is going to have streaks like that too. We're well equipped in front of the net." Dobes maintains elite statistics despite his first loss. He ranks 3rd in the NHL with a 2.25 goals against average. His .920 save percentage places him 4th among all goaltenders. The Czech netminder has started 6 of Montreal's last 8 games. Montembeault acknowledged his struggles publicly. "I know what I can do, and I've worked a lot the last 4 years to grow my game," Montembeault said. "Obviously not the best start so far, but we're going to keep working to get to where we were at." The goaltender revealed technical adjustments he's making. "I felt like during games I was shrinking a lot when guys were shooting or when I was trying to find pucks through screen," Montembeault explained. "I actually looked at myself in the glass the last practice, putting my blocker and my glove more outside and try to be more patient." Montreal sits first in the Atlantic Division with a 9-3-2 record. The Canadiens host the Utah Mammoth on November 8. St. Louis must choose between the emotional rookie seeking redemption and the veteran fighting to regain his form.
Do we get it perfect? Not necessarily, because sometimes you want matchup, you want the right flow for your players as well. So sometimes you're caught in between and you try to make a quick decision on the spot, and you're going to make mistakes at times.
Martin St. Louis just sent shockwaves through the Montreal Canadiens. With one decision, the coach ended weeks of speculation about who controls the net. The announcement dropped like a live wire. Quick, clear, and final. The goalie order is no longer a secret, and the impact of this choice is already echoing across the NHL. St. Louis confirmed that Jakub Dobes would start in goal. The young Czech goalie entered the matchup undefeated. talented, with 5 straight wins and a save rate near .940. His calm play and low goals against numbers have been key in early victory. Across the ring, veteran Samuel Montembeault carried a losing record and had allowed more than 3 goals per game. The numbers told a clear story, and the coach acted on it. The decision marked a shift in Montreal's net. Dobes had only joined the NHL the previous season, debuting with a 34-save shutout against the defending champion. Few goalies in team history had opened their careers that way. He followed that game with another strong performance against Colorado, building confidence each start. The team's staff and reporters began asking whether a true competition was forming between the two goalies. Montembeault, 28, has been Montreal's regular starter since last year. He played more than 60 games and kept his save percentage near .900. His experience made him the safe choice, but the team's recent struggles led to review. St. Louis said the team would rely on the goalie who gives them the best chance to win. He described both as good options, but added that internal competition was important for progress. Analysts described the move as the coach riding the hot hand. It wasn't a full change of starter, but it placed Dobes in the spotlight. Reporters noted that it showed faith in youth and performance rather than seniority. Fans online reacted instantly. Some agreed that the rookie earned it. Others believed Montembeault deserved another chance to reset. Earlier in the year, the Canadiens extended Dobes on a short contract worth just under $2 million, suggesting confidence in his development. That deal now looks timely. Management is monitoring both goalies closely as the team adjusts through its early season schedule. For Montreal, the announcement turned a routine rotation into a headline. St. Louis didn't raise his voice or use big words. He just confirmed who would stand in the crease, and that single choice shook the team's entire goaltending picture. After the announcement, the Canadiens camp grew tense. Inside the team, the message was clear. Performance now decides who gets the net. There are no long guarantees. St. Louis said the team must choose the goalie who gives the best chance to win right now. His words showed that results, not rank, will decide every start. Jakub Dobes has created strong momentum. The rookie was drafted late, but rose quickly through the team's system. In his first NHL season, he recorded one of the best starts for any Montreal goalie in the last decade. His shutout in his debut made headlines across sports outlets. Reporters noted that only 3 goalies in Canadiens history had opened their career that way. Since then, Dobes has been steady, showing consistency in games at home and away. Montembeault, on the other hand, has faced more challenges. He began the year with a high goals against average and admitted that his timing and positioning needed adjustment. He told reporters, "It's just getting back to the basics, breathe and stay in the moment, and then just play my game." St. Louis responded by saying, "I'm not worried that Sam is going to stop puck. The way Dobes is playing buys a little time for him to work on his thing." The organization has also made moves that show Dobes is part of its future. His new contract runs for 2 years and pays just under $2 million. For a developing goalie, that is an early vote of confidence. Meanwhile, Montembeault remains under a longer deal, but now faces higher competition for start. Team insiders reported that players have supported both goalies. During practice, teammates said the energy between Dobes and Montembeault remains professional. There is no public sign of tension. Still, reporters say the locker room feels the change. Every player knows that goalie confidence can shift the tone of an entire season. When St. Louis stood before the microphones, he didn't frame the move as bold. He called it consistent with the plan. Yet, for many around the team, it was the kind of plan that changes the story. The Canadiens now have a young goalie who's winning, a veteran who's adjusting, and a coach who refuses to settle for past records. The decision that began with one quiet statement has turned the Montreal crease into the most watched spot on the team.
Face off of the offensive zone for the Hawks. There's a shot there. Oh, he scores a hat-trick goal for Connor Bedard. And here come the Hats.
Connor Bedard didn't just play his best game, he dismantled expectation. Every shot carried precision, every shift felt charged, and his third goal silenced any remaining doubt. But behind that celebration, whispers began around the NHL, and what insiders noticed after the final horn has left everyone waiting for answers.
To Ottawa, Doc scores! Banks it in off Walmart. On the rebound on a delayed call, Colton Doc makes it 1-0 Hawks.
The Blackhawks struck early inside the United Center in Chicago. At 6:47 of the first period, Colton Doc picked up a rebound off a Louis Crevier drive and scored from the left faceoff circle. According to NHL.com, the puck came off the right point and Doc hammered it home for the 1-0 lead.
But scores! Might have been tipped. Crevier with the shot off the boards. Hawks make it 2-0.
Less than 7 minutes later at 12:06, Crevier himself made it 2-0. He retrieved the puck outside the right circle and fired a one-timer which deflected off Ottawa defenseman Nicholas Montembeault and into the net.
And it's 3-0 Hawks.
Who's got a good feel to his game, but it's a face-off win by Frank Nazar. That's the key. Then you go D to the winger to the...
Then Bedard got rolling. At 17:53 of the first period, Bedard scored on the power play. He took a pass from Andrei Burakovsky, fired a wrist shot from the right circle past Linus Ullmark for the 3-0 lead. Into the second period, Bedard struck again. At 2:58, he carried the puck into the zone, used a toe drag move, and snapped a high slot wrist shot past Ullmark, making it 4-0. The Senators mounted a brief rally. Jake Sanderson scored at 4:58 when a 55-foot slap shot caromed off the end boards, and Spencer Knight's left elbow before going in. Michael Amadio scored at 7:09 when he skated from behind the net and lifted the puck over Knight. Then at 8:31, Tim Stützle trimmed the lead to 4-3 with a wrist shot from the right circle on a 2-on-1 rush. But in the third period at 3:46, Bedard completed his hat trick. After a face-off win by Ryan Green, the puck came to Bedard in the left circle and he scored with a snapshot. That made it 5-3. Shortly thereafter at 8:24, Ryan Donato scored from the slot to push it to 6-3. Finally, Frank Nazar sealed it with a shorthanded empty net goal at 12:44 for the 7-3 final. Bedard's stat line: 3 goals and 1 assist, 4 points total. His first career hat trick came in his 169th NHL game. Chicago built momentum in this game with a strong start. They scored 4 times on their first 9 shots. From a tactical viewpoint, Bedard's goals came in 3 different situations: power play, even strength, and after a face-off win, underscoring his versatility. Coach Jeff Blashill of Chicago stated, "I think Connor's had a great start to the year. He's done so many things the right way. He's defending hard. He's stopping on pucks. He's doing a lot of things that are winning hockey habits." Bedard commented after the game, "Just our whole team celebrates each other in moments like, and the fans' reaction was awesome. We have so much support. Obviously, you want to get a hattie anywhere, but to get one at home is nice, and to have that support is unbelievable." From a franchise historical lens, Bedard's 4-point night tied him with Jeremy Roenick for the 3rd most 4-point games by a Blackhawks player before age 21. Only Dennis Savard, 4, and Bobby Hull, 5, had more. Meanwhile, Ottawa's goalie Ullmark played in his 300th NHL game. The Blackhawks now enter a season-high 6-game road trip following this home win. This performance comes at a time when Chicago is showing signs of momentum after a difficult period. Their 3 wins in 4 games reflect an upswing. Bedard's milestone shifts the narrative. For the Blackhawks, it marks not just a strong individual outing, but a potential turning point for their offense. His ability to score at a high level before age 21 places him in elite company within the franchise's history. The Senators, despite coming into the game riding a streak, were unable to maintain their earlier form. The heavy travel and back-to-back schedule may have factored in, but Chicago's sharp start set the tone.
Suzuki. Caulfield almost stripped by Catton. Caulfield drags it. Tries to stuff it. Decord can't get it. Cole Caulfield wins it in overtime.
Cole Caulfield just dropped a bombshell on the NHL. In a single rush, he destroyed the Seattle Kraken's comeback and silenced an entire arena. But this moment was more than one goal. It showed how Montreal is changing fast. The young core is no longer learning. They're leading. With Caulfield, Suzuki, and Slavkovsky rising together, the Canadiens' future is starting to look completely different. In the matchup against Seattle, the Canadiens had the perfect start. The puck control was tight, the passes clean, and the offense sharp. Caulfield got things going early when a loose puck near the crease landed right on his stick. He didn't wait. The shot was quick, precise, and passed the goalie before anyone could react. It looked like Montreal was ready to run away with it. The pressure didn't stop there. On a power play later in the first period, Nick Suzuki worked the puck along the boards and found Caulfield waiting for a setup. Instead of firing, Caulfield threaded a perfect pass to Juraj Slavkovsky, who ripped it home. It was the kind of smart, fast read that showed how far Caulfield's game game sense has developed, but Montreal's comfort didn't last. The team built a 3-0 lead before everything unraveled. Seattle stormed back, scoring 3 unanswered goals in less than 10 minutes. The Canadiens, who had looked calm and in control, were suddenly desperate. Every line change felt heavier, and the arena started to tilt in Seattle's favor. Then came overtime, short, sudden, and unforgettable. Suzuki carried the puck through the neutral zone, drew a defender, and slipped it across to Caulfield, flying down the wing. No hesitation. Caulfield's shot slid just inside the post, sealing the win. It was over before anyone realized what had happened. This was not a one-off moment. Caulfield has been doing this again and again. He already has a pattern of game-saving and game-winning goals this season. He's scored in overtime multiple times, and every time it looks just as sharp. Almost routine now. That's what makes this story so striking. Nick Suzuki's 3-assist night only added to it. His chemistry with Caulfield has become the backbone of Montreal's offense. Their connection, fast and instinctive, keeps giving Montreal life in close games. Goalie Jakub Dobes backed it up again, staying undefeated on the season. Montreal's ability to fight through chaos and still win keeps them high in the standing. Caulfield's role has shifted from pure scorer to something more complete. His passes now open plays for teammates. His awareness creates chances, and his timing continues to stand out. When the team collapses, he doesn't panic. He finds a lane, a gap, or a moment that turns pressure into point. Looking ahead, that's what makes him dangerous for every opponent. His shot has always been lethal, but now there's balance in his game. Smarter positioning, better control, and a calm that shows in overtime moment. If he keeps this pace, he's heading toward another breakout year. He's not just scoring big goals anymore. He's shaping how Montreal wins them. Caulfield's night in Seattle added another chapter to a growing list of clutch performances. He's no longer the rookie who just fires from the circle. He's the player who changes games when the clock gets tight. The numbers already show it. He's producing in overtime more than almost anyone else in the league this season. Each of those goals has come when Montreal was under pressure, and each one has turned a potential loss into a win. Statistically, Caulfield's early season production already places him among the league's top clutch scorers. His mix of accuracy and speed keeps defenders guessing. What stands out is the timing. Not how many goals he scored, but when he scores them. Late goals, overtime winners, game-tying shots in the final seconds. That's becoming his pattern. For Montreal, that means something bigger. The franchise has been rebuilding for several years, and they've searched for a consistent offensive leader. Caulfield's recent run suggests that leadership might already be forming. His partnership with Suzuki gives the Canadiens a 1-2 offensive core that can carry games without relying on experience or defensive breakdown. Analysts see this as part of a long-term shift for Montreal's roster. Younger players like Caulfield, Slavkovsky, and Dobes are setting the tone, not just filling support roles. If this continues, Montreal's offense could transition from streaky to stable, something they've struggled to achieve in recent seasons. Caulfield's ceiling is still unknown, but his trajectory looks clear. He's moving toward becoming one of the NHL's most consistent closers, the kind of player who defines the final minutes of games. The combination of a fast release, quick instincts, and poise under pressure is what separates him right now. Every team studies tape to prepare for him, but as this game showed, preparation doesn't guarantee survival. One small window, one open lane, and Cole Caulfield changes everything again.
Demidov gets to it. Marchman's up. Ivan Demidov. Line A and tight. Demidov, he's there. He scores!
Something is happening in Montreal. The same team many called a rebuild is now turning into a storm. The Canadiens are faster, tougher, and smarter than anyone expected. Young stars are growing into leaders. Rookies are playing like veterans. Opponents who once looked at Montreal as a break on the schedule are starting to realize the truth. This team is coming, and it's coming fast.
Here's
For
Hudson.
years, the Canadiens...
For Goalie. Goalie wanted it in front. Nice stick. Larson or Suzuki was in home free. Good defensive stick by number 6. Caulfield. Richard score! Cole Caulfield!
For years, the Canadiens were a story of patience. Draft picks, development camps, and cautious optimism filled the headline. But now, that patience is turning into power. The core of this team isn't waiting for tomorrow. They're building something right now. And it starts with the kid. Ivan Demidov has arrived like a spark on fresh ice. The 19-year-old forward doesn't just skate, he glides with purpose. Every stride looks controlled, every decision calculated. His hands move so fast that defenders are still guessing while the puck is already past them. When he touches the puck, the energy in the arena changes. Fans lean forward. You can feel it. The "this kid is different" moment. What sets Demidov apart isn't only his skill, it's his calm. He doesn't panic when pressure builds. He reads the ice, slows the game, and then attacks in seconds. It's the mindset of a player who understands more than the scoreboard. For a teenager, that's rare. For the Canadiens, it's gold. Then there's Lane Hutson, the defenseman who makes the blue line look like a playground. Small by